Well, the big game of the Rugby World Cup this morning was Australia versus Wales. Australia defending for their lives after going down to 13 men, and they ended up winning 15-6. Joining me on the panel, Black Fern Linda Itunu, Black Fern's captain Fiao'o Fa'amausili, and also our media commentator Willie Jackson. Tēnā koutou. Thank you all for coming in. First of all, let's just talk about the Black Ferns for now, since you're both in the Black Ferns. You're the captain, of course, and you're the number 8. How's your season been going? Has it finished? Are there any more games left in the season? What's been happening? Captain?
Okay. Sure, I'll answer that. Had a good season. We took out the Canada Cup,
awesome.
Which is a super series. No games at the moment, but we are building towards next year, so we're actually looking forward to seeing what the campaign holds for us.
And you've got a new coach?
Yes, we do.
And who's the new coach?
Glenn Moore, which he came on board when we went to Canada, but he'll be pushing through to the next World Cup, which is 2017.
Awesome. And being both of Samoan descent, and we're honouring Ngāti Maniapoto this morning from Willie over there, from the big chief of Ngāti Maniapoto has made you honouring Ngāti Maniapoto for this morning. But being both of Samoan descent, how do you feel the Samoan team's gone in the World Cup this year? They've only won one game. Is that a bit disappointing?
Yeah, I think Samoa as a country have found it a bit disappointing. But it's weird because it's when it gets to crunch time, they start performing. So if you watch the game
against Scotland this
morning, that's probably the best rugby I've ever seen them play this whole World Cup.
And then it just went down, 36-33. Yeah. What do you think's happened to Samoan rugby over the last couple of years, Fee, that they haven't performed at this year's World Cup, because they've been the stars of the World Cup in previous years? I
guess the question is what has happened? The country hasn't got behind them, as in it starts from the top. And we know that we spoke about Eliota earlier. He pretty much voices what we are thinking. And I just think that if change needs to happen, it has to start at the top.
Yep.
And it's been frustrating watching the boys. We support them full on, but just to see their final game and just see the heart that we're used to seeing with the from the boys today, and it's it's over. So,
nice answer, nice answer. I know she's just dancing around a couple of the more deeper issues there.
Scotty, she's talking about Eliota, just for our viewers, the lawyer who's been an outspoken critic of the Samoan Rugby Union, and he said in 2011 he accused the World Cup organisers of being racist, and now he's said the Samoan Rugby Union is corrupt and the team won't do well until they get rid of the corruption. So I think they did incredibly well this morning, considering that background. And what a magnificent game against Scotland. Jeez, they played well.
They were unlucky.
They were a little bit unlucky.
Willie, while you're on a roll, let's talk about Wales. Let's talk about Wales and Australia this morning. So what we saw from Australia this morning was we saw the defence they put on. They were like a brick wall.
It was magnificent defence, Scotty.
Wales couldn't get through.
I mean, they were down to 13 men. Wales should kick themselves. They should have scored a converted try and gone ahead. I think 13-12 in that game, but they just blew it. And it was just incredible defence from Australia. And now they go through to the easy side of the draw. Yep. Wales, though, I wouldn't count Wales out.
You think they can beat South Africa?
I think they can beat South Africa.
Really?
I think they got it. Well, Japan beat South Africa.
Like
well, no, see, I like Tohinari. Most of my predictions come right. Look, I think it's 50-50 against South Africa, because Gatlin is one of the best coaches in the business. What do you guys think in terms of South Africa-Wales?
I think, if you've watched the whole World Cup, anything could happen. Any team that shows up on a day and wants it bad enough can take it out.
Wales could upset South Africa.
Wales, definitely.
There's been a few upsets. And what we've seen from Australia, though, what I'm looking about Australia at the moment and how they're tracking is that in this game against Wales, we saw the defence. Against England, we saw their attack. So they're really tracking quite well at the moment, and I think they're going to be dangerous, very dangerous. But in saying that, Fee, how do you think the All Blacks are tracking at the moment?
Yeah, well, the All Blacks, I think, we haven't seen their game at the top yet. We've seen it building up to the World Cup. So I'm hoping that they're not reserving themselves too much in this next game, and that they're going to bring it up. My thoughts on it. They should be playing their game, each game as a final, especially in the World Cup. So these guys, they're the team to beat, and everyone's gunning to beat them.